I mean, lost trades, a lot of people query the name because, if there's somebody practicing that trade, it's not essentially lost, but it's more so lost direction, or they need to find their way. But the fair is about bringing all these people together and being able to showcase them to the general public and illustrate to people that there are still people out there practicing these rare and unusual trades, and very important trades. And we need to support them. We need to understand that unless we do support them and we share this information, that they will actually be gone and forgotten.
What we see today is very quick work, and you're not relying on drying time, so you can get a sign done very quickly, but it doesn't have that flair and character that you have from hand skills. And I think there are young people, particularly in the States, are now coming back and looking and saying, gee, I'd love to do that. I love the flair. I love the pinstriping on hot rods.
Put in little cuts.
We start to think about the products we're buying and start to think of them with an attitude towards their longevity. With regard to the chairs we make heirlooms. We don't make products that are going to find their way onto the hard rubbish collection. Creating that landfill and buying an item once is a lovely thing, and knowing that it will last you, or often in the case of a lot of these products that are made here today, outlast you.
And while you might sort of look at that, you might think, well, it's got a bit of a curve to it. If I'm making a spindle out of this, I won't steer away from that curve. I'll still follow those grain lines, because that's where the strength is. If I start to straighten this up and start severing through these long grain here, I'm doing no different to what I'd do with a saw, a circular saw or a bandsaw. So I'll follow those runs of grain, and then eventually I'll put that run of grain or that curvature into a part of the chair where I'm looking for that natural curve to accentuate the shape of the chair.
The Lost Trades Fair is that important to the young people of this country that they probably won't understand it now, but in 10, 15 years when their kids start and work, they will appreciate what they've seen, how things were done and how they will be done in the future. I know that these lost trades will come back, because money is becoming so hard to come by that people won't be throwing things away like they do today. They won't go to Bunnings and buy a 2-bob plastic bucket and throw it out in 3 months. I make a wooden bucket, you're going to have it in 30 years' time. You look after it, you keep water in it, that's it, you've got a bucket.
The world's first pocket-sized sewing machine.
It's been a wonderful event, and the interest has been completely overwhelming. At times you'd look up and there's 5 or 6 people deep, and you're fielding questions from left, right and centre, and the curiosity here and interest is fantastic.
A Canadian journalist actually said to me, she said, "Oh, what's your aim for the fair, in the next 10 years?" And I said, well, hopefully it won't exist. That these traders have ceased to be lost trades fair people, and their trades are starting to pick up again and start to be practiced more often. If we're committed to what we're doing and we're committed to fairs like this and exhibitions, that there is a chance that we won't fade away into obscurity. And I think that's good for everybody, not just the demo shows themselves.